Welcome back to the Insert Characters Underwhelming series, patent pending. This time I'm going to go over Lackey, Ferra, Torr, and why this one, compared to Ruthless and Vicious, is kind of underwhelming. Before I get into the cons, there are a few pros that I do want to mention, such as Lackey, Ferra, Torr has the unique trait of Torr being all by himself and dealing more damage than he would compared to Ruthless or Vicious with Ferra on top of his back. One thing Lackey Ferra Torr has compared to the other two Ferra Torr variations is his EX Bane charge, if you're familiar with Injustice. This thing can tank through many projectiles like Jax's machine gun or Sub-Zero's ice ball, making a good way to close the gap and stop zoners for a little bit. But do keep in mind that EX Bane charge is not going to do anything against parries. It's always going to get beaten. And when compared to Goro, Goro will always out-armor Ferra Torr. Another good thing Lackey Ferra Torr has is his core circle back too, which makes for a pretty decent anti-air. Another thing Lackey Ferra Torr has is some decent 50-50 setups, mainly against characters on Wake Up. They're not great, but hey, there's something. Especially against a character like, say, Sub-Zero, for instance. Top that up with some decent corner carry. And this variation doesn't seem too bad on paper, but unfortunately this is where I have to get into some of the cons with playing Lackey Ferra Torr. With Ruthless Ferra Torr, for example, while their command grab may not be as strong as Lackey Ferra Torr's, it helps to get a few extra hits in with the meter burn. Plus, Ferra is the equivalent of a human projectile. With a directional overhead below, their Bane charge dealing a few extra hits compared to Lackey Ferra Torr's. It really goes to show that the lack of Ferra in Lackey Ferra Torr doesn't really allow as many unique combo routes compared to Ruthless. Not to mention with Ruthless Ferra Torr you get Pain and Gain, which gives them one hit of armor and enhanced damage. Granted, Ferra is stabbing Torr in the shoulders, and he does lose a little bit of health each time they do it, but you know the old saying, no pain, no gain. Pain and gain! I did mention before that Lackey's neutral jump punch isn't as good as Ruthless or Vicious's. Look at the range that neutral jump punch has on Ruthless. That is amazing, compared to Lackey's neutral jump punch. Everything else from their neutral jump kicks, their forward back jump kicks, forward back jump punches, all the same. But compare that to Ruthless or Vicious's neutral jump punch, you can't compete with that. Not to mention, a lot of what you've learned from playing Lackey can translate very well into playing Ruthless or Vicious. For lack of a better word, the lack of Ferra with Lackey hurts when compared to playing Ruthless or Vicious. Having her with neutral jump punch, special moves, enhanced special moves, it's just way better to play these other two if you want to actually stand a chance and win, have better range, etc, etc. I'm not saying Lackey is completely useless when compared to Ruthless or Vicious. If you want to play Lackey, then by all means go for it. I won't stop you, just you're gonna have a way harder time compared to playing with Ruthless or Vicious, where you might stand a bit more of a chance. But hey, what do I know? This is Lightning KO, signing off. Ciao.